Today I wanted to talk to you about a person who had a profound impact on my life. This person's name is Blossom. Blossom, Blossom is someone I met. I can't even remember meeting her. I met her when I was literally a couple hours old. And I can't remember meeting her in the same way I can't remember meeting my mom or my dad for the first time. But the thing was, I can't remember life before I met her. She was there when I was born, and 2 years later when my brother was born, her and her partner, Stanley, were with me, watching me while my parents were at the hospital. When me and my brother were growing up, Stan and Blossom treated me and my brother Max as if we were their children. They're both artists who lived their entire lives in New York City, had very little money, but every Friday they would come by my house, bringing either toys, books, sometimes which they illustrated and wrote themselves for me and my brother, and art supplies, encouraging me and Max to be as creative and flourish as much as we could at our young age. As we got older, Stan and Blossom still remained part of my life. Blossom, I would see her rarely, but whenever I saw her, they would always ask me about what I was doing, what I was reading. They were always encouraging me to write. They were always wanting to read what I wrote and always telling me to keep at it, despite the fact that I had no interest in writing for a prolonged amount of time in any of that. But they pushed me, and I owe them a lot because they believed that I was capable of anything. Whether or not I was capable of anything, if you have that belief, if you have someone there to tell you that you can do anything, unless there's somebody there to tell you you can't, you're on a pretty good course. Blossom told me that from the second she met me, that she knew that I was creative, that she knew that I was special. And what she did when I was older was not so much of a hands-on type of help. It wasn't so much that she was there every Friday, because as Stan and Blossom got older, they couldn't. But what Blossom did was she was just a force in my life, sort of which you can't explain. The positive energy that Dan was talking about was there, was always there. And I always knew that there was somebody who loved and cared for me, in the same way that my parents did. The last time I saw Blossom was either in early October or late September, and I remember it well. Blossom, Stan, and my family walked over to the promenade on the Hudson River, downtown where I live in Manhattan. We were talking, and although I was too old for toys anymore, I was almost 19 years old, they were asking me about what books I was reading, what I was doing, what girls I was seeing, all that. They still cared. And I would tell them, and they had so much interest in it. Something that for a young person is the one thing you need. You need someone to take interest in you. Stan and Blossom made sure that I had that. It meant the world to them, and it meant the world to me. A month or two later, Blossom went into a hospice. And throughout her entire life, she was a very eccentric woman, and she never believed, so to speak, in modern medicine. She declined care, and barely 2 weeks later, she passed away. Her partner, Stan, had known her since they were in elementary school together in the 1940s. Although I never got to actually say goodbye to Blossom, it was very clear to me, and my brother, that somewhere in the forefront of her thoughts, we were there. And that meant the world, and still does.